inspiring. Dear Andrew, tell me please, what is humor engineer? Why you manage to help so many people in the world to be happy?
It's a great question. Well, I'm honored to be here and as part of it. And I think anyone can learn to be a humor engineer, which if you have not heard that job title before, it is because I made it up. But I think it's the best way to describe what I do. So my background is in computer science and engineering. And when I was an IT project manager at Procter & Gamble, I was solving problems in the workplace using computers, using technology, using programming and project management. And later, when I started to realize that I was solving problems in the workplace using humor, by bringing in storytelling or using humor to get people to pay attention or using humor to relieve my own stress, I realized, oh, I'm still solving problems instead of using computers, though I'm using humor, and therefore I must be a humor engineer.
You said that 83% of people at work are under stress. Mm-hmm. And people are spending 1/3 of their life at work. So people are very unhappy by your estimation. How to improve that?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I think that, I think for many of us, we have probably those days where we enjoy our work and it's exciting and challenging. And then a lot of days where it is particularly stressful. And like you said, we spend a third of our adult awake life at work. And my belief is that we should try to find ways to enjoy that time. And when we do, we actually see that we lower our stress, we're able to manage it more effectively, we get people to pay attention a little bit more, and we're more engaged in our own work. And so, there's a couple of different ways that you can do that, but it starts kind of with this basic idea that, what gets fun gets done, I think. So if you make your work a little bit more fun, then you're a little bit more likely to be engaged with it. And there's a lot of different strategies for it. But the big key that we focus on when we're talking about humor in the workplace, we're not just talking about comedy. A lot of times when people hear the word humor, they think of laughter and jokes and maybe even a stand-up comedian. But we're talking about less about making our workplace funny and more about making it a little bit more fun, finding ways to play our work a little bit more, or to incorporate storytelling, or to just kind of find moments throughout the day that we can intentionally relieve stress, even by watching, say, a funny YouTube video or checking out one of your other interviews as well. Like, this is a great moment that can provide people for some levity and inspiration throughout the day. So small things like that, but a big part of it is being intentional about doing it.
If a person doesn't have sense of humor, what he can do?
It's a great question. Well, we believe that humor is a skill, which means it can be learned. And so the question isn't, are you funny? The question is, what kind of funny are you? And in our research, we found what we consider kind of 6 primary, what we call humor profiles. And the first has nothing to do with the ability to use humor. We think the first is what we consider an appreciator. This is someone who actively seeks out finding humor in their day-to-day life. So like I said, maybe you don't have to be funny to go on YouTube and watch a funny video, or to go on to, to read a funny newsletter, or to read a funny book. You can kind of outwardly seek it just to say, I'm going to do this intentionally to relieve some stress from my overall, maybe stressful day. You can also be a curator. So a curator is someone who likes to collect, maybe they collect memes online, and they're that person that you might have this as a friend, that they always seem to send you like a joke or a meme or a cartoon that just makes you laugh or smile. That's a curator. They didn't create the humor themselves, but they saw it somewhere else and thought, oh, this might actually work well with this person, or this person might enjoy it. Certainly from the creation side, you have both creators. These are people who are good at writing humor or writing jokes or drawing cartoons. You have performers. These are the people who are really good at delivery of that humor. They just the way that they speak, they're entertaining. They might not always know why they're funny, but just the way that they do it, they're kind of funny. And then the final section of profiles that we have are the ambassador. The humor ambassador is someone who creates a space for humor. So maybe they aren't funny themselves, but they're the leader in the organization that we'll give the space for someone else of like, hey, so-and-so, you've got that great story. Can you share that with people? Or let's all start this meeting with a quick question where we get to know each other a little bit more. Again, they're not creating the humor themselves. They're just creating the space for it. And then finally, you have people like me, the engineers, who are saying, okay, I'm going to use humor for specific results, right? I need to start off a meeting and I want people to pay attention. So I'm going to start with this story. Or I want to relieve my own stress. So I'm going to watch this video. Or I want to build rapport with someone who I need to influence a little bit later. So I'm going to do this type of humor. I'm going to do a quick humor activity. Like, so those profiles, again, the question isn't, are you funny? It's which one of those profiles is your natural strength? And then how do you learn to leverage that for the best results at work?
Andrew, if ever
let's see, I have you as Frozen, not the movie Frozen, but just Frozen. That me.